Courtesy of the president of the CD Projekt Group, Adam Kaczynski, we now know that after the launch of Cyberpunk 2077, development will begin pretty quickly on The Witcher 4 or whatever the next Witcher happens to be. By saying this, they've already been working on another single player game, they have created a relatively clear concept that is waiting for further development. He says the new project is embedded in the Witcher universe, however it will not be called The Witcher 4, meaning it will likely be a story separate from that of Geralt's. So after Cyberpunk 2077's release in September of this year, that means that their next project will hit full development almost instantly. And with any luck, in a few years down the line we'll be hearing about a new Witcher game. Apparently CD Projekt Red's focus for games lives in two worlds, that of The Witcher and Cyberpunk, and so inevitably when this next game finishes development and is launched, full development will begin on the next Cyberpunk game, and it will continue in that cycle until they decide that they inevitably want to break it. But the best news that we can hear from this is that CD Projekt Red has a clear concept of what they want to do for the next Witcher game, which will not be called The Witcher 4 and will likely not have anything to do with Geralt per se, at least not as the main protagonist. Now time for my opinion on this news. Well, I don't necessarily see it as news because that's kind of what I expected them to start development on after they finished Cyberpunk 2077, but it's great to hear a little bit of confirmation if you get me. And it's also good that CD Projekt aren't restricting themselves to a sequel to The Witcher 3, since the game will not be called The Witcher 4, we can only assume that we won't be playing as Geralt, which is another good thing because they are aware that Geralt's story could be seen as concluded, or at least it feels that way in my books, nice and tidy if you get me. Them saying that the game will be embedded in the Witcher universe makes me believe that it will be a completely separate story altogether, a different time period with a different protagonist, etc. Maybe even a prequel of sorts to see the Witchers in their prime. I think that'll be pretty damn cool. So they have a concept of what they're going to do, and I'd imagine in a few years time we'll start hearing about it, but until then I don't think there's any rush, and I know that Cyberpunk 2077 will satisfy us in September. And for me that's good enough. When I get bored in games like The Witcher 3 I start to make bad decisions. Look at what I did to poor Geralt here. I haven't played Cyberpunk, it's not out yet, it still could turn out to be absolute tosh, but somehow I doubt that. And with this news it feels good to know what's coming next for the Witcher franchise. As for what I'd like to see with the next Witcher game, I'd just be satisfied with a good story and I'll leave the rest of it to the professionals. I'm sure there are plenty of awesome stories in the Witcher universe yet to be told. But I think that concludes today's video anyway. I'll leave a link to my sources in the description. Thank you all for watching, I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, share the channel with your friends and all that wonderful stuff, that would be fantastic. Let me know what you think down in the comments section, and with any luck I'll see you all very soon with another video at some point. But until then, goodbye.